Hello again. Now, here's a challenge. Here is a page of writing. And here is a page of writing. What wrote this? What author wrote this page? What author started scribbling in that page as well? You can see those little holes there. So, we have 2 pages of writing. Welcome to the life of words. I am Professor David Morley, and today we're going to look at natural magic. Short stories, novels, novellas, speeches, ballads, carols, sonnets, villanelles, terzerenas, screenplays, concrete poetry, kinetic poetry. So many different forms of writing, so many different transformative acts that make words sing, make them fixed and alive at the same time, as much as these dragonflies that are buzzing around me right now. What gives them life? What makes them come alive before your eyes and in your ears? Because they are formed. Because they are not random acts. They are formed. They have structure. And by structure, they have song, they have voice, they have pace. And in doing that, they hold the very life of words about them, which is not just about communication. Form is a kind of a fiction, sure, it's an invention, but that yield of meaning comes across again through what I talked about last time, the mnemonic, the way of remembering, not the way of forgetting, the way of carrying something forward, and carrying something not just forward, but carrying something into the ear of those who are sitting around the fire with us as we tell our stories, as we make and remake our histories. And as we invent and reinvent our language through written art, through verbal art, we don't just need to take those forms and write in them without challenge, without question. We can not just remake them, we can invent new forms. This is a relatively recent form. It was invented, for want of a better word, by the poet Anna Akhmatova, a Russian poet from the early part of the 20th century. Let's just listen to it. Let's just try and guess what the form is. And maybe you could actually, put your guesses about the form into the comments below. He loved 3 things alone: white peacocks, evensong, old maps of America. He hated children crying, and raspberry jam with his tea, and my hysteria. And he married me. I don't know if you heard the form as I said it, but you may have recognized that there were seven things going on in that very short poem. The poem itself is only 7 lines long. But what happens is that in the first line, there's a statement, a simple opening statement, as if you're opening a story. You have a he, you have a verb, and then you have what he does. 3 things alone. He loved 3 things alone. And then we hear what they are: white peacocks, evensong, and old maps of America. 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Like beats of a verbal heart. Then there's a little break, as another voice comes in. He hated children crying, and raspberry jam with his tea, and my hysteria. Children crying, jam with his tea, my hysteria, says Anna Akhmatova. Another 3 things. Another 3 things laid down before you on, if like, the eye of the page. And then finally, a single line, a single observation that ties those things together. And he married me. And in that poem, you have a whole story. A love story, a story of pain, the story to which any of us could relate when talking about well, the nature of love, the awkwardness that comes with describing a relationship, but pinned, if you like, with all its life into 7 simple lines. The task I'd like you to try this week is to write one of these poems. It's called a 7-ling, so want a better phrase. It's a 7-line poem, and in the first 3 lines, you have to use 3 things, 3 nouns. You can describe them more fully than that, but set them up with a statement. And then in the next 3 lines, you use another 3 nouns. So these nouns can be completely disconnected with the first set of nouns. They don't have to be a continuation. You're not creating a narrative as such here. Let the story come about through the words, with their own life that they bring to the page. And then the final line is a line, it's a bit like almost like a line you might say on the stage that just draws everything together. It doesn't explain anything. It's not the answer to a riddle here. The poem isn't a riddle. It's a story. And in this case, it's a cry of pain. But the poem is also a form. And being only 7 lines, it makes you really focus upon what you wish to say. It sharpens and deepens the act of seeing and feeling. The short forms, such as the 7-ling, really asks you to say what you really mean. So another task I'd like you to perform is an unusual one. This episode is called Natural Magic. And what I'm talking about with natural magic is that everything is in form. Everything you can see around me right now, everything, if you look around your own room right now, is in a form. A chair is a form. A table is a form. Food is a form. So this is a leaf. This is a form. It obeys in its growth. Behind me, the trees show this. The Fibonacci numbers, in the way it orders itself and grows quite naturally according to the codes it's developed through natural selection. This is a page of writing by nature. It's astonishing, isn't it? I always think that, God is like the Salieri to nature's Mozart. And this page, if you'll accept it as a page, is what you'll be writing on. I would like you to go outside and find yourself a leaf, usually a leaf that's on the floor, sure, and take it up and write a piece of writing, a short story, for instance, or a short poem, without any sense of rhyme or anything like that. Just use the leaf as the guide to how the poem or the story is shaped. So find yourself that page from nature, and you'll find your form at the same time. Thank you. Thank you for watching The Life of Words, revealing the inner life of language through stories, through poems, and through writing across the world. If you'd like to see more of these episodes, please help by liking this channel and subscribing to the future episodes. Thank you so much. I'll be delighted to see you again as we continue the exploration of this world through words.